from avocado is going to cost extra. Am I crazy to think that with all the weapons around him, Tua's going to go off this season and prove the haters wrong? Spoken like a true Dolphins fan there. I think it's very possible. Last year, I don't think was a great evaluation standpoint of Tua. The receiving core got hurt. The O-line was not that great. And frankly, the coaching staff did not set him up for success either. Now, if Tua does not show growth this year, it gets a little bit dicey. But I like Tua a lot coming out of Alabama. I think this offense should be better for him. Speaking of Tua, I think the answer here should be no. But will Tua be a top 10 quarterback this season? Get your votes in for me. Type in Y for yes or type in N for no. I only know top 10's a high bar to clear in your first true year as a starter. Can he show the promise of a top 10 quarterback? I lean yes on that one. Can the Dolphins try to trade for James Robinson? I mean, they can try. It's a logical target for them. But from what I've heard coming out of the Jags, that Travis Etienne is going to kind of be used as like the Curtis Samuel, Percy Harvin in the Urban Meyer offense, where he's part receiver. So if they're going to do that, which is weird, by the way, then I doubt the Jags move him. And Robinson was a find and a steal for Jacksonville. I would call if I'm Miami. I'm also not going to get my hopes up for a trade.
We got Nick Fury, 55. What impact would Xavien Howard have on the Seattle defense if Seattle decides to go all in on him? I mean, he would be a huge help, right? I mean, he's a top 5, top 10 cornerback in the National Football League. He would probably be their best defender. I don't know if that's a bit of a push. I love Poona Ford a lot. Super underrated. I think Xavien Howard's better than Jamal Adams, personally, in terms of what he'd be able to bring to a team. The issue is with Howard is can he stay fully healthy? But yes, he would obviously really, really help that secondary, and that secondary does still need some help despite making a few moves this offseason. Let's go to Highlights Highlighter. Do you think the Dolphins should have taken DeAndre Swift instead of trading down in the 2020 draft? I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I don't know if Swift would have had as much success, honestly, with Miami that he did with Detroit, because he had so much success with Detroit because they had to check it down to him. So I like the question, but I think Swift's really happy where he's at right now.
All right, from Daniel Sharp, trade package for Seattle for Xavien Howard. I mean, look, you don't have a first-round pick, so that makes it difficult. So it's probably got to be a second-round pick and one of your young corners. I don't know if Trey Flowers moves the needle at all. Maybe DJ Reed does. Maybe Ahkello Witherspoon. It's not a great offer since you just signed Witherspoon. I think a second-round pick is all Seattle will be able to lead with outside of moving one of their big-time players, which doesn't make much sense because they're trying to win games right now.
All right, Anthony, you're next up here. What can my Dolphins trade for Kareem Hunt, or what should we give up for him in a trade, Mitchell? I mean, you're just probably not going to get Kareem Hunt. Now, I get that he'd actually be a very good fit in the Miami offense, but the Cleveland Browns want to be able to run with two running backs. They want to be able to rock and roll with Nick Chubb, and then they want to be able to bring in Kareem Hunt because that is a run-first team with arguably the best offensive line in the league. If you're going to give up picks, you probably have to give up a second, maybe a third-round pick for Hunt.
From King J, should the Cowboys trade for Xavien Howard and Brandon Graham? I doubt Philadelphia moves Brandon Graham right now. They just redid his deal. They save like no money, so probably not an option there. Xavien Howard, had they not drafted two corners in round one, or in the first 100 picks, then yes, but they did. So unless they want to include Kelvin Joseph, which could maybe work, I don't think so. Plus, they don't ever pay corners. Howard wants big-time money. It would have to be a departure in the typical MO from the Cowboys front office.
I got Cisco 57. If Miami trades Xavien Howard, who is a cheap corner they could trade for? A cheap corner you could trade for. I wouldn't go with Stephon Gilmore. Byron Murphy's been linked to a few trades as well, but even from Arizona, like that ain't going to be very cheap. I'm going to go with this name here, and a lot of people might hate on me, especially my Raider fans. Why not Damon Arnett? There's been a report out there that Arnett has already been kind of pushed to the side, according to the Raiders. A 19th overall pick back in the 2020 draft. If you're looking for somebody to get a fresh start, the Raiders in Miami have already made a trade for Lynn Bowden Jr. last year, same draft class. So for Damon Arnett, if you want maybe, if you give us a 4th or a 5th round pick, you give the Raiders a 4th or 5th round pick, honestly, man, I'd probably take it in a heartbeat just because I'm kind of sick and tired of Damon Arnett.
From Matt the Gamer, which teams do you think will be better this year? I mean, I think in general, you're looking at the teams that were terrible last year that have almost nowhere to go but up, right? The Jets, they should be a better football team this season. The Jags should be a better football team this year. I'd be very surprised if a team like, the Cowboys, great example there for Jeremy, they should be better this year. A team like maybe not Philadelphia, but I think the Bengals, if Joe Burrow's healthy the entire year, could be a lot better this year. I think the Niners, a healthy team, will be way better this season. So some of those bottom teams, they got plenty of room to go up. From Anisha Nod, what is your reaction to Brady and Mahomes on the Madden cover? I don't care about the cover. They could put Peyton Hillis back on it again, and I would not care about it. What I care about is making the franchise mode actually good. It has gone in the wrong direction for a decade now. If the franchise mode is finally good again, which I'll believe it when I see it, then I'll be pretty excited. Now, maybe your answer to this question is Brady or Mahomes. But you guys can be a hater right now in the comments section. And let me know who you think the most overrated NFL quarterback is. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So to get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down and let me know. From Yurji, what teams are sleepers for the Super Bowl? Do the Rams count as a Super Bowl sleeper, or are they too obvious? Because obviously they brought in Matt Stafford. I think the Chiefs are your heavy favorites out there in the West. So in the other conference there in the West. So I lean towards not the Chiefs. I don't buy the Colts or Titans quite yet, but maybe Tennessee would qualify as a sleeper there. If you want to go deep sleeper, do the Bills count yet? Or are they too good? They're too good? Okay, so not the Bills. So I'll go Chargers there for out in the West, AFC West to be exact, or in the AFC. As for the NFC team, I'll go with it's not Washington, it's not the Cowboys. I'll go. Can I go with the 49ers? I'll go with the 49ers. If they're healthy, they're a good football team. So I'll go Niners, Chargers, two West Coast teams in the end. From Liam Gaming 622, Tom Downey misspelled my name, but we still brought it up. It's all good. There's an E there. It's not like the fabric softener, It's not like that. What player is at the top of the trading block? I think your main names there are Aaron Rodgers, maybe Stephon Gilmore, maybe Xavien Howard. The one guy who I know is available is Zach Ertz. Does he get dealt? I don't know. From Thomas Angel, first off, great first name. What playoff team last year will fall out this season? I am worried about Pittsburgh in the AFC. If Big Ben is second half of last season, Big Ben, things are going to get dicey there. I don't trust Carson Wentz for the Colts. In the AFC, if Aaron Rodgers is not in Green Bay, they're not going to make it. But the team that jumps out the most to me, the Saints. If it's Taysom Hill, I don't think so. They'll be above or around 500 football team. I'm not sold on New Orleans this year. What receivers do you think could be traded this offseason? I think in general, we're kind of at the end of the notable players who are going to get dealt outside of a couple, more roster cut down type of moves. The big names, Odell Beckham, I don't think he's going to get moved at any time in the near future. I don't think Michael Gallup gets moved by the Cowboys. If teams start to struggle, the Jets redid Jamison Crowder's deal, so I guess that takes him off the list. There will be some deadline or some trade deadline deals for a receiver. Hopefully not as bad as the Mohamed Sanu trade for the Patriots. But if things get disastrous in Green Bay, just keep an eye out for Devontae Adams, maybe. And I guess Allen Robinson if things go bad for the Bears, too.
We got the Fat Rat. What up, brother? Hello, Mitch. How are you? Good, dude. Which quarterback do you believe is a sleeper MVP candidate? Well, if you want to go super deep sleeper, I'll throw out the name Tua Tagovailoa. I believe his MVP odds are 6,600. He's got a ton of talent around him. He's entering his second year. If you want to go a next caliber level down in terms of a sleeper MVP candidate, a lot of people might hate on me for saying this, but I'll say Derek Carr, because if he can finish first in the AFC West, that puts him in a very good position. And for the first time in a long time, he actually has a defense. But The pick that I've been going with is Kyler Murray, a quarterback that has shown some ups and some downs, a lot of talent around him. But in terms of a sleeper MVP, I guess I'm going to go with Kyler Murray. Mmiller 916, who is your Super Bowl favorite, Mitch? I mean, I guess I got to say the Kansas City Chiefs, but it absolutely pains me to say that, and it's about as chalky as it gets. In terms of what team do I think is maybe not a chalky pick, but I would like to see in the Super Bowl, I like to see the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. I like what those guys are doing. Let's go to Jeremiah Robinson. Who will win Rookie of the Year? I mean, in terms of offensive, the chalky answer is Trevor Lawrence. On the defensive side of the football, I'll throw out a name like Jalen Phillips because he actually has an opportunity to get a lot of sacks. You could also look at Merrick from the Raiders. He's going to have a big-time opportunity to get on the field a bunch. Usually there's a top defensive guy taken. You didn't really have that too much this year. So I'll say Jalen Phillips or Merrick.
Gary Sanderson, your worst NFL draft takes ever. I mean, first off, where do we even begin? I had a take Josh Allen was going to be a top 5 quarterback out of the NFL within 3 or 4 years. I'll be right on that front. I thought it was going to be out of the NFL, though. So Josh Allen, big L on my part. Guys that I liked who are not good, Hakeem Butler, just a massive L for me. Like, he has never been anything good in the NFL. I loved Tease Tabor coming out. Huge mistake on my front. That was just a disastrous goal there. Other players I'm looking at my boards from years past I was super high on. I feel like Maurice Hurst, I'm blaming on the medical condition, but he hasn't been that great. Let's see. I had Lamar Jackson graded the exact same as Sam Darnold. So I'm claiming victory on Lamar Jackson on that front there. I like Taven Bryan a lot. He has not been particularly good. I also loved Montravius Adams, the Packers defensive lineman. He was never good. A huge L on my part. I was pretty high on Billy Price, top 45 player. I like Jimmy Clausen too. Oops. I had Malik Jefferson and Billy Price in my top 50. Two just disastrous ones right there. There's a very long list of, well, that was a bad grade on my part.